Hey, what's going on? How are you doing? You have reached Life Skills for a Lifetime. My name is Michael Gray. That's my Instagram. That's my email. Hit me up for anything that you need. I got you for real, for real. Today is gratitude. The power of living in gratitude. Living in the power of gratitude, man. Here we go. Let's get started. Here's some of the research that I used. Giving Thanks Can Make You Happier by Dr. Robert Emmons. He also does stuff for the Greater Good Science Center, which is the second one. Dr. Joshua Brown, Joel Wong. Man, what a great article. And then Dr. Lisa Williams and Dr. Monica Bartlett. Also appreciate your wisdom. And let's get started. Here we go. So the Brown and Wong study that I talked about, right? So 300 college students who were having either anxiety or depression or both, they came to their university center and wanted counseling. So they divided the 300 students into three separate groups. They all got counseling, first of all. So the control group was, just the counseling. The second group was that they wrote about, like, with a lot of detail, the stuff that they were going through in their life, right? So counseling plus like journaling all the stuff that they were going through. The third group, counseling, and they were instructed to write gratitude letters, to find folks that they were grateful for, items during the day that they were grateful for, and they would write gratitude letters. And some of them they would send out. Some of them they didn't. All right. So those three groups, after 4 weeks and 12 weeks, the group that was doing significantly better was the group that practiced gratitude. And there was some other things that they did, but they all related to living in gratitude, practicing gratitude. And here's what's even more like you're going to learn about if you do all my stuff, if you do all my lessons, that stop speaking negatively out loud is a superpower. Stop complaining is a superpower. So when they analyze the two groups that were doing the journaling, it was the absence of negative words and phrases and negative emotions while writing. Those were the folks that were progressing better in their mental health, right? So gratitude, it's not like about just, being more positive. That's not it at all. Gratitude makes you have an ability to work through negative situations in life to the point, and we'll talk about that in a second, to the point where you can reframe it. Well, let's go down there. The power of living in gratitude helps you to not avoid difficult stuff, to not avoid negative, painful situations and feelings. We have too much of that going on, right? We have too much where people are avoiding dealing with like traumatic experiences that they've been through, which is understandable, but it doesn't help you. It's not healthy. We don't like dealing with difficult conversations about racism or sexism or what's going on against our LGBTQ plus brothers and sisters, right? So we just avoid those conversations because they're difficult. But when you live in the power of gratitude, or you experience the power of living in gratitude, you have this ability to deal with that stuff and to reframe difficult situations. Like, you don't want them to happen, right? But you look at them differently, okay? And which is over to the right. Practicing gratitude helps create basically like a savings account. Dr. Brene Brown's social work research showed that joy is like one of the most difficult things for us as a human being to experience because there is a lot of stuff going on. And the way our brain is wired and the way our brain works is it's always looking for negatives. It's always looking for stuff to worry about. All right. But when you practice gratitude, when we live in the power of gratitude, we create this savings account. And her research showed that people who could more easily experience joy and the good in life had a gratitude practice. Okay? Because that savings account, you're going to go through whatever and it's going to happen. It could be a relationship breakup. It could be difficulties at home with family. It could be lost my job. It could be, all that stuff was going on. My family going through COVID or any other health crisis, right? But we can't fold our tent. We can't give up. And when you build a savings account of gratitude, then you can take withdrawals from it. That's what a savings account is for. So that when you need help, when you need more strength, that you can draw from it. And that's what practicing gratitude does. Let's dive in just a little bit more, but those are really, 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 I encourage you to read those articles, okay? But those are some real foundational points of the power of living in gratitude. Look up here by the yellow star. If I could offer you a magic potion that would make you happier, healthier, more optimistic, and more productive, and it's free, and it doesn't really require a bunch of effort, would you be interested? I already know what the answer is. Would you want some of this if you knew that it existed? And of course you would. I'm in the little box. Okay? And it's not a potion, right? But we have something that's better than some magic potion or a pill or whatever. It's gratitude, living in the power of gratitude, and it's a good health choice. All right? So now I'm down at the bottom. And I just want to emphasize this. I talked about it already, about how gratitude helps you enter into difficult conversations in a more productive way. So this is not some sort of little happy, make you just happy and avoid the difficulties that are going on in our country on the daily basis and have been for centuries. They're just being recorded. Okay, they're just on social media as opposed to being hidden away, right? So as the underlined part in the italics part says, this is not an attempt to live outside of reality. Racism, sexism, anti-LGBTQ plus policies, and more systems of oppression exist daily. However, and this is a big however, to work towards a more just society requires each of us to be at our best. We cannot create new systems for living when all we do is complain and refuse to see possibilities. All right? So, since I'm talking about complaining, let's look over to the picture on the right. Unfortunately, our society and social media has amplified this. We complain all the time. We're a bunch of complainers. Okay? And not enough of us are practicing gratitude. Okay? So, once again, complaining doesn't help. Complaining actually tricks our brain into thinking that we're actually trying to solve a problem. No. Gratitude gives us the strength and this foundation for opportunities and foundation for, I believe, we can make a change to come up with solutions that are actually going to work as opposed to just complaining. All right, let's go up to the gray star. What is practicing gratitude? What does living in gratitude help you do? It helps reduce envy. It helps reduce resentment, frustration, regret. And that helps your psychological health, right? It helps you reframe stuff. It helps you be happy for other folks, right? The second one, you just feel healthier. So now, because you're taking an action of showing gratitude and showing appreciation, okay, those are actions that helps you feel better, okay? And when you feel better, now you're going to work out more often. And now that you're working out more often, and working out is just movement. It could be anything, dancing, lifting weights, walking, swimming, like whatever, okay? That reduces your aches and pains, which helps your physiological health and psychological health, which is by the gray star, like I just said, and physiological health. They go together. You don't start with feelings and then go to actions. You do actions, and your actions will make you feel more like doing stuff because you're already doing it. The third one, it helps you create relationships when you live in gratitude, when you're living in the power of gratitude, when you're experiencing the power of living in gratitude. It helps create relationships. Because think about it, when you're out there showing appreciation, acknowledging others' contributions, and you have an energy about you of just kindness, that doesn't mean wimpiness. It doesn't mean you let people walk on you. It doesn't mean that, like I said, that difficult things aren't happening to you. You're just living in gratitude, and you're spreading that energy. Okay? When you're doing that, opportunities for good relationships, real relationships in all areas of life, they happen more often. They just do. Okay. Next, we got two more. Sleep better. Man, sleep is crucial. It's crucial. When you spend time in gratitude before you go to sleep, your sleep improves. It could be journaling, making a list, writing another gratitude note for the day to give out tomorrow, or maybe you send out some text of appreciation and gratitude before you go to sleep. Turn off your notifications. Check them in the morning. They might have responded. They might not. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you spread gratitude out into the world. Okay? And then lastly, once again, when you're living in gratitude, and I kind of alluded to it at the first, is you appreciate other people's accomplishments. It stops comparison, envy. You stop focusing on what you don't have. Oh my God, right? Scrolling. What? Oh, she thinks or he thinks. What? Oh, God, my party is whack compared to that one. All that kind of stuff. When you're living in gratitude, it reduces all that stuff to the point where after a while, you're like, I don't even want to live in that envy world no more. I don't even want to focus on what I don't have no more. All right? And lastly, for this section, it helps you work through your trauma. Like what I said earlier, helps you not give up, and it helps you love yourself. That is so crucial. Remember, the power of living in gratitude, I'm down at the bottom, helps you not avoid difficult, negative, painful situations and feelings. Why? Because over on the right, you're building this savings account. All right? You're building the savings account of what's good, of what's possible, of optimism. It's okay to be optimistic. Why? Because when it doesn't work out perfectly, you have learned how to deal with it because you're not tripping about negative situations. You don't go looking for them, but they're inevitably going to happen, right? Okay, so let's move over to the boxes over on the right. There's actually 3 activities over here, but 2 of them involve journaling. For my journaling, I go to gratefulness.org. It's a really dope thing. You log in, and they have like quotes of the day. They have questions for you to question yourself about. And then they have a spot where you can do gratitude journaling. So I just wanted to read a couple. Like, I'm grateful for white people that are working to be anti-racist on the daily, for men working to be anti-sexist on the daily, for straight people to be for LGBTQ plus justice. I'm grateful for the power and the restlessness of youth combining with the wisdom of our elders. Okay. I'm grateful for daily quote unquote victories that seem so small, but actually move the message that we're trying to present forward. Like, we have to be cool with the small things. We don't want to just focus on some big goal, right? Which is a whole other lesson that we're doing. So anyway, that's just some examples. Here's another thing, still in that activities for gratitude box. Write down the good you see in people. Then tell them without asking for anything in return. Like make a list of good stuff you see about people, okay? And then let them know, right? Here's the last activity. These are just a couple. You can go look for like a billion more, all right? But I believe that these are like super powerful. Each day, write down something small, big, like what I was doing, right? That you are grateful for that day, and just put it on a small slip of paper, put it in a box or a jar, okay? And at the end of each week or whenever you need, look at the slips for reminders to be grateful. That's what I do with my journal. I scroll through it, and there you go. Another activity that you can do is it's like self-awareness. What do you focus on? Catch yourself. Like, what are you focus? Are you focusing on what's not going to happen? Are you focusing on negatives, or are you focusing on what you can be grateful for? Okay. And then we have a YouTube channel that we have put together. We, the Care Center, the peer counselors at Poly High School, Together Tuesday, and it has a bunch of dope videos on it. And the one that's really good to do the activity is called Living in Gratitude Equals Better Immune System, which I didn't even touch on hardly. When you live in gratitude, it amps up your immune system. All right? Because why? Because you're living less in negative emotions, and negative emotions have been documented over and over and over again to mess up your immune system. I almost cursed. To mess up your immune system. Okay? So do the activity. Living in gratitude equals better immune system. That's within that video. So like you could pause this video and watch it, like put it in the search bar, or you can email me or go to the Google Classroom that I'm going to show you at the end of this and get the PDF pamphlet, and then you can just click on it and up it comes. All right. And then secondly, gratitude, pain, empathy, difficulties. That's another good one. Giving us perspective about our lives, right? That's another way to help yourself live in gratitude, is gaining perspective on what's going on in the world. And I don't know, that we've all made it through difficult situations, and we're going to make it through this one, and then the next one, and then the next one. And in between the negative situations or the difficult ones or the painful ones, we really store up and build that savings account of cool stuff, right? That's what we do. So what I want to end on is this is what we're trying to get all of our schools to focus on, all of our school districts. Elevate mental wellness skills equal to academics. That will help. It will help that every day on the daily, just like if we was learning a second language or a math concept or getting better at writing paragraphs or reading or whatever, that we were practicing gratitude, breath work, not speaking negatively out loud. Did you drink your water today? So on and so forth. All that stuff. Okay? And that's our YouTube channel that I was speaking about earlier, Together Tuesday. This is the Google Classroom code to get PDFs of all this stuff, and hit me up with the email if you need any advice or materials, anything. Like, we got you for real. All right? So the power of living in gratitude. Psh, super simple, free, super powerful. Oh my God. All right. Love y'all. Take care. Peace.